Hi, and welcome to Crash Course Cryptozoology. Since this is the channel's first video, I'll start off with an introduction to cryptozoology before we get to today's topic. Cryptozoology is the study of animals that may or may not exist, otherwise referred to as hidden animals or cryptids. More literally, it's the search for undiscovered species or species thought to have gone extinct that may still be alive. These cryptids include alleged species like Sasquatch, Chupacabra, the Devil, the list goes on. Cryptozoology is currently labeled as a pseudoscience, which I would disagree with. But my opinion isn't what we're discussing this time around. Instead, we're going to be talking about a phenomenon that tends to pop up sometimes within the field of cryptozoology. That phenomenon relates to declines in sightings, and the possibility of some of these unknown species going extinct within our time. One classic feature of cryptozoology is the eyewitness. They're not just classic, they're crucial to the field of study. Really, without eyewitnesses, cryptozoology wouldn't even be a word, regardless of who lies and who doesn't. The point is, we have people coming and telling the public or others that they've witnessed these creatures, and the state of those creatures is what this decline phenomenon refers to. When we have a cryptid sighting established, we also establish the possibility of these creatures being real, and the possibility of them being fake. We can also expect that if they are real, there will likely be more sightings. A lack of sightings doesn't mean real or fake either way, but an increase in them can suggest legitimacy. However, when we've established a sightings pattern, and we suddenly see a huge decline in those sightings, we unfortunately have to establish the possibility that, if these creatures are real, they may be dying off before we can prove them to be so. One great example of this is the Merozi. The Merozis were, supposedly, a species of spotted lion native to mountainous areas of Africa. Many native tribes talk about hunting, killing, eating, and even skinning these animals. In fact, there's an alleged skull and skin in existence, although the species either belonged to was never officially recognized, and it may never get the chance to. There haven't been any Merozi-specific reports since the 1930s. For many cryptids, this could mean something psychological, and could say that this mental cryptid phenomenon merely died off in native tribes. However, the skin and skull would suggest otherwise. If the Merozis were real, it may very well be that they have gone extinct. I find this sort of thing tragic, but for the Merozis, there may still be hope. Most theorize that they were a subspecies or genetic defect of lions, and since the 1930s, there have been successful attempts to create spotted lion-looking creatures through breeding lions with leopards and jaguars. There may still be a chance to revive the Merozi species, even if they have gone extinct. However, some species may not be so lucky. I'm sure you've all heard of the Loch Ness Monster, or as I should say, the Loch Ness Monsters. Nessie is undoubtedly one of, if not the most famous cryptid of all time, right up there with Bigfoot. Sightings of the Loch Ness Monster have been fairly consistent throughout the ages, with two exceptions. There's been stints that saw declines in Nessie sightings, but they've always seemed to rise back up. Like many cryptids, this too could suggest a psychological phenomenon. But I won't talk about my opinions about that in this video. Instead, the focus is going to be on the latest decline in Nessie sightings that has recently, at least seemingly, been pulled out of. Up until about last week, there have been no Nessie sightings since August of last year. However, 2 in the past week have revived the sightings. I've got my own ideas on these sightings that I will discuss in another video. However, this one will examine the possible importance of these drops in sightings. Imagine, if you will, a scenario in which the Loch Ness Monsters are proven to be a real species. This would rock the world, and honestly, I would call it one of the most important discoveries in recorded history. Imagine how incredible that would be. Now, imagine that these animals are real, but they all die off before we ever get a chance to confirm it. We may find out years and years later that they did exist, or we may never find out. I think this would be an extremely tragic thing, and it's why I find this decline phenomenon in cryptozoology so important. I myself do believe in several cryptids, and the idea of them dying off before being recognized is just saddening, for many different reasons that you may or may not share. All in all, though, I think most could agree that losing the chance to even just let everyone know the existence of such amazing creatures, as some of these cryptids may be, would be a very, very sad thing. But hey, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments section. This is Crash Course Cryptozoology's first video, so it's really a test of the water to see what kind of audience this can draw in to discuss cryptozoology. I'm looking forward to knowing what you guys think about this decline phenomenon. That being said, until next time.